And I know you're big into personal development and your growth and stuff anyway. I think there's this misconception of people with money invest in themselves when it's the other way around. People have money and success because they do invest in themselves. What's your take on that? Who sort of are you investing in at the moment? What sort of work are you doing to brush up on your skills?
Yeah, so I agree with you. So I do see a very, very, very close correlation, as in, so I agree with you in the sense of people with money do invest in themselves, but you're right in that I think it's a cause and effect. So the self-investment, self-growth allowed them to develop the money and the income, which then becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. So they reinvest more heavily because they see an ROI.
Yeah,
I've got a very close personal friend who's really analytical, and he feels that he can trace. His company now is 4 or 5 million, very profitable, and he feels that he can trace a 8-to-1 return for investment in himself the following year. So if he spent £10,000 in year one on his self-development, he feels that his profitability went up by £80,000 the following 12 months.
Yeah.
And he went back and plotted all the different courses and programs that he did. So I do see the people that are most obsessive about learning and getting better. I think the innate side, the external, Steve, which I'll come back to, is like who you learn from, how you learn, because of course not everything is equal. But innately, it's a drive to be better. Yeah. I think the achievers have got an innate drive just to want to excel. Sometimes it's to win and beat others, but sometimes it's just a self-intrinsic, I just want to be better, I want to be fitter, I want to be faster, I want to be smarter, I want to do more. And then that causes them to just aspire to do more, be more, learn more. And so for me, so this is quite funny. People say, oh, you must get through all your books because, you know, you were once one of the fastest readers in the world. Yeah. And I go, no, I've since figured out, it doesn't matter how fast I read, my ability to order on Amazon outstrips my ability, my speed to read. So I'll just say I'm prolific. So, you know, literally we went around the room, there'd be all kinds of people, some that you would know, some that you wouldn't know. You know, there's people that you would know, like walking around the wall, Jay Abraham, Ryan Dice, as I mentioned, Keith Cunningham. But then there's people that you wouldn't know, people like Scott Martineau, who's a co-founder of Infusionsoft. And that's just in the business sense. The same is true personally. So I have, I've got some that are consistent, like a Keith Cunningham. Been with me and I've studied under them for many, many years, but there's a lot that rotate where I go through a phase where I'm looking to learn to be a better writer, or personally, I have a guitar teacher. I have, here's a fun one. I've always been into my fitness, but my weak link, I believe, Steve, you're only as good as the weak link in the chain. Yeah. So your business, if you're really great at marketing, but your customer service is terrible, ultimately, that I believe that'll be prevent you from the optimal growth. Yeah. So I'm always interested in the weak link. So business-wise, I used to have a weak link, which was my financial literacy and how I understood balance sheets and stuff like that. And then I went after obsessively to how to make it my biggest strength. That's how I came across Keith Cunningham. But in the fitness world, I played squash to a high standard and I was very, very, very fit, but I wasn't very flexible. And I always ignored that. And I realized that I wasn't being held to account. And let's be honest, stretching is boring as anything, right? So I literally have a guy, or pre-lockdown, coming to my house every week purely for us to stretch for an hour. Because I knew that in doing that and in testing it and measuring it, in between those sessions, I'd always want to beat my score. Yep. So in a very short space of time, probably about 3 months from when we started, I went from not even being able to touch my toes to being able to get my whole palm over my toe at the end of my legs in a hamstring stretch, for example. Yeah. And I just absolutely love it. And then strengthening that weak link, by the way, enhances other areas of your life. So I noticed that when I did that, all of a sudden my squash game significantly improved, right? Because for you to improve the thing that you're naturally strongest at might have an incremental difference. But if you've got a real weak link, improving in that area, the improvements come more quickly, and yet the overall impact can be dramatic.
Yeah.
So in business, if your business product is solid, but your marketing is shit, getting a little bit of skill in marketing can just transform the business. But the marketers listening to this, who are all into everything marketing-y, that's not true, because that might be your biggest strength. So learning the latest marketing might improve you incrementally, but actually it's understanding finances or customer service or whatever, product development is the thing that would just blow it wide open.